It's hard to believe. Honestly, I almost cannot believe it myself, but the game I've been working on for so long is finally ready. And so am I. I'm ready to reveal the official release date of Get a Little Gold. But for those of you who are new to this channel and are about to ask Get a Little what? Welcome folks! My name is Yaroslav. I'm an indie game developer, and for almost the last 12 years I've been working on my big dream project, an idle incremental game called Get a Little Gold. 12 years sounds like an eternity, and obviously a lot has happened during that time. Some things were good, like the birth of my daughter Victoria, some were bad, like the death of the Flash, the technology I used to make the game, or the COVID pandemic. And some were horrible, like Russia's invasion of my home country, Ukraine. Now, as you might have guessed, all these events, good or bad, had a huge impact on my productivity and the pace of development. And not in a good way, of course. Hell, during that time I even finished the Flash version of game, published it on one of the biggest portals of that era, called Congregate, and got literally millions of plays, proving the success of the concept. The future seemed bright with no signs of the storm ahead until 2020, when the Flash technology became obsolete and I had no choice but to switch to Unity, a completely new and unfamiliar game engine for me. So I learned a new programming language, C#, and started rewriting Get a Little Gold from scratch. I kept working on it for another 2 years and could almost see the finish line when another disaster struck me, my family, and my entire country, the Russian invasion. I could talk a lot about how war changed everything in my life, which it absolutely did. But long story short, I decided to switch to another project, a game depicting the Russian invasion called Orcs. And I did. Over the course of a year, I created and published a whole new game. And then it was suspended by Google Play and the App Store by violating the quote-unquote hate speech policy. Because how dare you offend invaders calling them orcs, right? Anyway, after losing a year of my life, while probably not completely losing it since I did learn a lot, I returned to developing Get a Little Gold. It was hard to stay consistent because Russia kept attacking Ukraine with missiles, targeting power plants and trying to plunge the country into darkness. Power outages were constant, and sometimes there was no electricity for days. So I worked whenever I could. Until in November of last year, exactly 6 months ago, our family made the decision to move to another European country. Russian missiles and drones often explode not far from my home, making it harder and harder to justify why I still staying here. From that moment on, I had all the electricity I could need. But emigration to another country is never easy. And emotionally, I was in a very fragile state. Thankfully, I didn't fall into depression, but emptiness and anxiety became my new companions. To fight them, I threw myself into work. My whole life became work, learning a new language, a little bit of sport, and more work. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining here. Because after all, despite all those struggles, and partly thanks to them, I finally managed to finish my game and reach this point in time. The moment where I can officially announce the release of Get a Little Gold on mobiles. Well, to be precise, this first release will be for the Android phones only, but I hope to bring it to iOS soon as well. And you know what? In just a few days, on May 16, it's my beautiful wife's birthday. She's supported me from the very beginning, and I thought, what better day to release the game than on her birthday. So that's it. Whether you played the Flash version before or it's your first time hearing about Get a Little Gold, I'd be thrilled if you give it a try. If you're watching this video after the May 16, you'll find a link to the game in the description. Otherwise, I'd be grateful if you marked the date on the calendar and enjoyed the game once it's out. The truth is, it's really hard to describe what I'm feeling right now. Because on the one hand, I'm excited to finally share my dream project with you, and on the other hand, I'm absolutely exhausted. I think you can see it just by looking at me. These last few months, I literally haven't had a single day off. Today, the day I'm recording this video, is Sunday, and as you can see, I'm still working. You've probably noticed that I haven't published anything on this channel for the last 6 months. The reason is the same. I've been completely focused on finishing the game, because it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that my future completely depends on the success of Get a Little Gold. It's a game I devoted almost a third of my life to. One of the long-time players who helped me test the game before release asked me, "Do you still enjoy developing games?" And my answer was, yes. I'm very tired, but at the same time, I'm fully aware that I still love what I do. In fact, I feel incredibly privileged to be able to work on something I'm passionate about. And I truly want to keep doing it, developing games. And here comes the moment of truth. My family and I had a stable and happy life in Ukraine, but then the Russians came and destroyed it. Now, it feels like we are starting everything from scratch. Life in this new place costs much more than it did back home. So that's it. If the game I've been working on for 12 years can't cover those costs, I might not be able to keep doing what I love most. I'm not going to lie. Just thinking about it scares me. That's why, fingers crossed, I hope you enjoy Get a Little Gold, and I also hope I'll be able to continue developing games. That's all for today. The date? May 16.